So you started a business and you want to make a business logo. How do you do that? For starters, you don't necessarily need a logo for your business. Plenty of businesses don't have logos. You could even just write your business name in kind of like a fancy font, with certain designs to it, and that would be okay too. But if you really do want a business logo, which I generally think is a good idea, there are multiple different ways in which you can make that. And how you go about this kind of depends on your creativity, your ability to, use certain platforms like Canva or Photoshop or things like that. So really depends on your comfort level with those things. But I would say it's a good idea to start at least brainstorming what you want your logo to look like. Just come up with a concept. Is that, something to include the type of product or service that you offer? Is that some type of animal? Is that some type of other design that you feel is appropriate for your business? Then you can start, getting creative with that and actually putting that on paper and kind of manipulating the logo to, figure out what you like and what looks good. So when you're starting out with that portion, you could even just be drawing that on paper. You could be using some type of basic, computer platform to start drawing that, or maybe if you're more advanced and know how to use Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or whatever, you could start using those. And then from there, once you've come up with a design that you like, you want to make sure you have it in the right type of image files. So you probably want that made through Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, just to make sure it is a proper file. Because if you're taking that logo, you're taking that graphic, and you want that printed on signage, on clothing, on business cards, even embedded on your website and things like that, you want to make sure that the quality of the graphic is adequate. Because if you just make a small one using like Microsoft Paint, it's probably not going to display properly on something like larger signage. So in that case, maybe you can very much come up with a concept and create the logo exactly how you want it, but then maybe you need to hire someone to actually turn that into the right type of image file so that it meets the right quality standards. Because some printers will just turn you down and say, hey, we can't print your signage. These graphic files are not suitable. They're not high enough resolution or high enough quality. If you are struggling to come up with ideas, there are plenty of websites that can generate some logos for you. I recommend Vistaprint as one of them. You can just go to Vistaprint and go to their logo generator option, and then just type in some information about your business. What is the industry? What are some keywords about your business? And then it will generate a bunch of different logo ideas for you. And so maybe you find one you like from that, or at least you get some inspiration on how to create a business logo that is more suitable for your business. And once you've done that, if you're not able to use Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, platforms like that, you can just hire someone to do that. There's probably local graphic designers where you live, or you can go online and find websites that can connect you with people who do that. Fiverr and Upwork, and I'm sure there are plenty other ones, and also other websites that can do logo generation outside of Vistaprint. So there are a ton of different options available. And then just a quick example on what I did for my logo. So I originally came up with the idea for the logo for my business, just kind of popped into my head and I thought it was suitable. So I did an online search for, a suitable, it's a lion's head. I came up, with a search for a lion's head, and I found one that I kind of liked. And then I hired a friend to make some adjustments for it. And then later on, I decided I wanted to have the shield around the lion's head. So I hired someone through Fiverr to actually change the graphic to add that shield around the lion's head and put it in the appropriate files. So I very much came up with a concept, and I had the exact design figured out in my head and kind of laid out in paper. And then I just passed it on to this expert, this individual who was good at creating graphics and creating them in the right files, just explain what I wanted. And he was able to produce exactly what I wanted in the right type of files. And so now I have those graphic files where I can create large signage. I can put that on business cards, clothing, anything like that, and I don't have any issues. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any other questions about business startup or business management, you can just leave that in the comment section. If you're wanting to, test different graphics, come up with different ideas, definitely check out Vistaprint's logo generator or other similar websites. And check out Fiverr, Upwork to try and find someone who's suitable to convert that into the appropriate type of file if you're unable to do that on your own. But again, don't feel like you need to have a logo for your business if you don't want to. It's nice, but it's not completely necessary.